Okay.
What's up, guys? It's Tony from the Summer Send-Off Car Show.
And Jamie from Street Trends Metal Art. And we're back with part 2. We already talked to Ruined the Car Club. Now we're talking to Chris from Ruined Rides. Thank you again for having us.
What up, man?
Thanks for having me.
So where do we want to start?
Start from the beginning.
You're a car guy,
Yep,
and somewhere along the lines you decide to start your own business.
correct.
Is that kind of, take us through that.
Yeah, so I guess my career path getting up to this point doesn't really equal what I'm doing now. So as a kid, I worked with my dad. He was an electrician. So I used to go out, work with him Saturdays, get up like super early. And I just kind of got the sense of like what it was like to get up without sleep. Because you're a kid, you stay up late and like work a lot and make no money.
Yep.
So I did that through when I was little, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. And then, you get a real job. I worked at McDonald's as a kid, and I was there at 4 in the morning, making buns. And like, just, I'd work 30 hours a week and get $100, clear $100. So it was like, man, it's a lot easier to spend than it is to make, right? So then I went to a trade school through high school, and at 14 years old, they're like, hey, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? And you're like, dude, I don't know, I'm 14. Like, I want to hang out with my homies, right? So all my buddies were in the masonry shop, and I'm like, well, I want to hang out with my friends, so I'll go in the masonry shop. So I was in the masonry shop. And then junior year of high school, they were like, do you want to go on a co-op program? You only have to come to school every other week. I hated school. I never did good in school.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'd love to not be here every other week. So I got a job at a flooring place because I was in the masonry, and that's a trial of trades, and the flooring place had tile flooring. So I did that from like 1996 up until 2006.
Okay.
I did floors professionally. So within that, it taught me a lot of the foundation of what I'm doing now, like making patterns, cutting wood, sanding, working hard. Like, there's no harder job than that.
Yep.
Picking in carpets and putting in hardwood floors and working in the heat. So I did that up in 2006 until I had my first daughter, and it just got to be the point where like health insurance was so expensive. I worked for a mom and pop shop, and they did what they could, right? And I appreciate them, but like my first paycheck, it was like half of what I normally made because of health insurance. And I'm like, remember one day at lunch, I was eating my lunch, I'm looking around, all these guys, they're like 30, 40, they're all beat up. And I'm like, I'm 25 years old at the time. I'm like, this is it.
That's not what you want.
Yeah. I'm like, I got to find something else. So a buddy of mine, he did home theater at the time for Tweeter. You guys remember Tweeter?
Yeah.
Yep. And he was like, dude, what do you make? And I'm like, I make like $19 an hour. He's like, oh, I'll get you in for more than that, just off the rip.
Yeah.
I was like, cool. So I started doing that. Well, that was 2006, and it was great at first. Like, it was commission. So the more you worked, the more you made. And we made a ton of money because we worked hard. Well, Tweeter was under new management, and it fell out. The floor fell out really fast.
Yep.
So we put our resumes out on, is it Monster?
Yeah,
Monster.com?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And we got hired by a commercial audiovisual firm out of Waltham, Massachusetts, called HB Communications. So we worked there as installers. We drove all over Boston. We hung up TVs, projectors, microphones, pulled wire, and worked for a lot of like asset management, higher education, sports teams, etc. Higher education. I already said that. So fast forward 2011, I went through a divorce. I had 2 little girls. They were 2 and 5. And I wanted to be in their lives, so I wanted to have them half the time. But being an installer and driving a van in and out of Boston, living in New Hampshire, like, It just didn't make sense.
Yeah, yeah.
So I approached my company that I was working for to be a project manager, because now you get to make your own hours.
Yep.
So through the divorce process, I had half custody of my girls, became a project manager, and that's when my career really started to escalate. And I started to really work for some higher organizations in Boston. Never really loved it, but it did what it needed to do at the time for the kids and my family, and to reestablish myself and kind of build my life back up. So what I did was I would take any extra money I would get and I would buy tools. And I would invest in the pre-business, because I always was going to do this.
Okay.
I was going to
So
wait.
this was always the goal.
This was always the goal.
Okay.
Right. I had to rebuild my life to be able to get to that point.
Yeah.
So I would buy, machine tools. I'd buy upholstery tools. I'd buy wood tools. I'd buy whatever it needed to be, and I would just kind of store them. So then around 2020, we went through COVID, and now everyone's stuck at home. So my company had the PPE loan.
Yeah.
We had nothing to do.
Yeah.
Well, now everyone wants to teach you everything they want to know on YouTube because they got nothing to do. So I just educated myself, and I started putting it into practice and put it into practice. And then I met Mike with this car, and we talked about putting a hydro setup in it, and it kind of turned into an entire stereo, trunk upholstery, hydros, rewire. And I was able to take a lot of what I had learned through COVID and the tools that I had bought to get to this point and put it into practice. And we came out with this, and this was kind of the cornerstone for how this happened. So once this busted out, that's when I started to really get some work.
Yeah.
So after COVID, or during COVID, I was still working for the firm I was working for, but I used to interview a lot of people, and I'm like, if you can't teach people how to work hard, and you can't teach people how to care.
Yep.
Right? And I stopped caring. And that's not fair to anyone. It's not fair to my clients. It's not fair to the people that are paying me. So I got a job at a new firm, and at the time, I was like, what if I just take a little bit of time off in between this job and that job? And she was like, yeah, cool. So I put the word out, and I started getting more and more.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like,
business.
oh, I got 6 weeks worth of work. Oh, I got
Yeah.
3 months. And I'm like, shit, I got 2 years worth of work.
Yeah.
So she was like, fuck it, burn the ships, just do it. So here we are,
So prior to all of that, did you have what experience did you have in the automotive industry? Because it's kind of hard to just jump into this.
Yeah.
So were you just building stuff on the side on your own?
Yeah.
And then this kind of.
Yeah, so this was always just a hobby. And,
Okay.
I'm cut from the cloth of we didn't have a lot of money when I was a kid, or ever really.
Yeah.
And I would make do with the absolute minimum. I have a Cadillac. It's a convertible. It was a hardtop. It's the same car as this. I cut the roof off, turned it into a working convertible, and I did the whole thing in a one-stall garage with a 110 Sears welder and a Harbor Freight grinder. Because it's what you had.
Yeah.
But you're not going to substitute your love for something versus what you do or don't have. You know what I mean? So it was always a hobby, and I loved it a lot. I knew I always wanted to do it. And my plan was to do it when all my kids were old enough to drive, because now they're self-sufficient.
Yeah.
But it just ended up happening a little bit sooner than expected, and just grew out of the house and just picked this place up, a few months ago.
I mean, obviously going on your own is a big step. How nervous were you to go on your own, or were you confident enough in your skills that you were like, I'm going to be okay?
Yeah, so I was confident enough in my skills because I have the ability to just look at something and figure it out, right? I can just see how things are supposed to work. And I hate saying that to people because it makes me sound crazy. I can see how things work in my mind.
Yep.
I can't read a book. It doesn't make that story doesn't play to me. Turning pages and reading something, I got to read it 5 times. But
I'm the same way.
touching 2 things and making it do something, that makes sense to me.
Yep.
So I was confident I could do the work, but I was nervous to get enough work.
Yep.
That was my biggest fear because I got 3 kids and a house and responsibilities, but it just picked up and it happened fast. So
from there, did you go to advertising or going out to shows and handing out hey, this is what I do? How did you
No,
Or was
I
it all
mean,
word of mouth kind of?
it was all word of mouth.
Okay.
I have yet to advertise.
I was gonna say I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, I actually just talked to Reggie from ECS magazine.
Okay.
We're putting a half page in there.
Oh, in the magazine. Yeah.
Yep. I've yet to advertise. The only thing I've ever had was Instagram, and then just the support of all the car club guys. You know, I've done so many cars for these guys and girls, and then like hats off to like Mike and Franco and Sam, and they just drive to everything.
Yep.
So they go to these shows, like, you know, for example, like he won best of show at your car show, but he drove 2 hours to get there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like that's the best business card for me.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
know,
shows
like
your work and stand up.
Who
Yeah.
did it? You know what I mean? Who did the work?
right, yeah.
Someone's gonna ask.
Yeah, and then like, you know, him and we brought it to Tampa, Florida a couple years ago to a lowrider sanctioned event, just for fun. And we ended up winning like best full custom 61 to 64, which is a hard class.
Yep.
And we won best hydraulic setup. And him and I were like, dude, they just called your name. Holy shit. And the best thing about it is like the cars we beat, they were pushing back on the trailers, and we like three-wheeled this thing out of the parking lot and went out and did all like the cruise spot shit at night.
Actually drive
like,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
like that to me is like, that's the fun part. That's the difference is like, yeah, we build them, they can show, but they also drive and they're also reliable. You get kind of the best of both worlds, you know?
Yep.
When it comes to service or automotive work, are you limited? Do you do everything, or are you limited to certain things?
I'll do anything except for like general repair. Like I don't want your Odyssey with a transmission problem. Like I just
No oil change.
yeah,
coming for tire rotation?
that work is tough.
So any kind of custom work.
Yes, for any kind of custom work. So like I'm primarily known for lowriders.
Yep.
But I do air ride.
Okay.
I'll make custom
You
suspension.
don't like it though.
For myself. He wanted us to put air ride in it, and me and Bastek are hardcore hydro guys. Like we're not air ride guys. No discredit to anyone with air ride, but like we're hydros till we die. So Ronnie's like, oh, I want to put air ride in it. I want to put air ride in it, and we were like, dude, we're not doing it. You bring us a hydro setup, and we'll put it in. For myself, like for me, like if I'm gonna put adjustable suspension in something, it's gonna be hydros.
Yeah.
And we can get into that project in a few.
Yeah.
But I do airbags. I'll do a body drop. I'll do a suicide doors. I'll chop a top. Anything that you have as a wild idea, I'll tackle it. You know, we do some coach work. Like I was saying, I have a Dodge Challenger. We turn it into a wagon. We do some English wheel work, some punishing hammer work. You know, MIG, TIG, some plasma services. Like, I'm not just lowriders.
Okay.
Hold on.
Is there anything that you've taken on that, you, like, as soon as you take it on, you realize, like, I really didn't want to do this?
Yeah, so some electronic fuel injection stuff.
Okay.
Not that I don't want to do it, but it's a lot more challenging than you would think, because an electronic fuel injection on an old car, it finds everything wrong with that car. And until you fix everything, then it's like, now I'll be the technology you want me to be. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like a fancy chick. Like, you got to take her out a bunch of times. Yeah. Where like a carburetor is just like, just bolt me on and I'll drive you home. You know, so like some of those I've learned to like kind of stay away from them to a point. And then, like I said, like general repair, like I don't really want to do your brake pads. Yeah. You know,
maintenance.
Yeah. Like if I'm into this or one of these cars, I'm putting hydros in it, or, you know, air ride, excuse me, and your ball joints are wonked out, it's a safety concern.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, hey, dude, you need new ball joints on this while it's in the air. Do you want me to put ball joints? Or like, hey, you got some rusty brake lines. Do you want me to put new brake lines on it while we're here? Like, because it makes more sense. Or maybe you know somebody that, you know, that, and you can tow it out of here. Like, but I always give them the option. But I prefer not to do general repair stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of the build? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you have a personal preference? Like, do you like doing the hydraulics, or do you like doing the interior, or do you like?
Yeah. So for me, like, it's the trunk of a car, because it's an absolute blank canvas.
My truck and everybody get to run it. Pop my truck and everybody get to run it. Pop my truck and everybody get to run it.
The motor, there's only so much you can do with the motor.
Yeah.
The suspension is only so much you can do. Yeah, you know, so for example, you open this car, you know, me and Mike, we actually did this car in my basement shop. When we did the hydros. Yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, I said to him, I was like, you know, what do you want? And he's like, I don't know, I just want it to be the baddest motherfucker you ever saw. And I was like, okay, word. And it gave me the opportunity to do custom metal work, machining, upholstery, wiring, hydros, LED, and just kind of go crazy with it. So like the trunk is a blank canvas and you create what it is you want to be the final outcome. So that's my favorite part of.
Now on this one, did you go over everything with him or did he just give you free reign?
He kind of just gave me free reign. Yeah, I kept him in line with it, like kind of the whole way, like, hey, thinking this, and like, but we got to buy like this gold-plated thing. What do you think? He'd be like, all right, cool, and he would just show up with it. There's a lot of gold plating in the trunk, but not until it was done do I think any of us understood what it was.
That was gonna be one of my questions. Was, you know, obviously you could have it in your head.
Yeah.
But then when you actually put pen to paper, was it like, did you, you know, like obviously you're building it so you see it every day, but was it something like you had your head down and you were just doing everything and then you just stood back and was like, holy shit, like look at what we did? Like, did you have that reaction?
A little bit of both, yeah. So like I can see it in my head and like I don't draw anything out hardly ever. So I just designed it in my head and just kind of perseverated about it, and then like would get into it and be like, well, what I imagined you really can't do just because of X, Y, and Z. The trunk's not laid out like that. So like, how do we pivot? So I would, and it came out how I envisioned, but not until we like finalized it and we turned it on and we saw the lights, we were like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I remember like Franco and Sam, when we first turned it on, they were like, God damn. Right before we loaded it up and we went to Jurassic Car Club picnic with it, but I don't think we knew what we were building until it was done.
How was that feeling for you when you
Seeing
turned
people's
it and
reaction
seeing
and
it
stuff,
done?
too.
I still don't get it. Like, I still don't understand, you know, and what makes me understand what it is like Mike's just mops up at all these shows. Like he goes and wins like best hydros and best of show, and like I can't take credit for the whole car obviously, but you know, the trunk and the stereo, and some of the suspension work. But like, if I go to a show, I don't enter the competition. I'm not a trophy guy. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, but seeing these guys win and stuff that I put my hands on, like, it feels good.
It's validation for your work
Yeah.
also.
Yeah, for
Shows
sure.
other people appreciate it and understand it.
Yeah, and even more than that, like just seeing them drive there to and from,
Oh,
like
yeah.
driving it 2 hours to a show and then three-wheeling it out and then being able to show it like that, knowing how custom it is, like that to me is the win. And then the trophy is like, it's
Extra.
It's the stamp on it, you know?
Yeah,
So,
that's cool.
yeah.
All right, so take us through what the hell we're doing over here.
Yeah, so now that we are a business and for the past couple of years we're starting to travel as a car club, you know, we're starting to go up and down the East Coast, you know, Tampa, Florida, Maggie Valley, South Carolina. Is it North Carolina or South Carolina? North. You know, Atlantic City, Pennsylvania. We want to start venturing out across country, start doing some of the truck shows.
Yep.
And, you know, Texas, Arizona, Las Vegas, etc. So where now this is a business and we're starting to tow these, I need a shop truck. I need something to tow these cars with.
Represent you, yeah.
So if I'm going to build a shop truck, I need something that represents the shop and also that is true to my heart, something that I think is dope.
Yeah.
So that's what we're building over here. This is a 1985 Kenworth K100E, which is Kenworth's cab over. It's the year they started with square headlights. And in the 80s, this is what Optimus Prime was from Transformers, which I was a huge Transformers nerd as a kid. I grew up in the 80s. And I've always loved the cab overs. But building custom cars for a living and being into hydros, I was like, well, how do we get it to be representative to the business and also what I love? So I'm claiming this will be the world's lowest Kenworth. It's on 28-inch billet custom wheels. The entire chassis is on hydraulics instead of air ride. The cab is on hydraulics, so you can actually raise the cab up and down. and then the entire suspension and the cab is accumulated, so you can actually dial in the ride for how soft or how hard you want it, depending on how much weight you have on it. And then the seats are air ride. There's an air management system in it from Lowrider Depot with Nick. And this is just purpose built to be a shop truck. We're going to tow with it.
Like a functional rolling billboard.
It's a functional rolling billboard.
Yeah.
Yep. And I also want it to be an experience. We go to shows, like, I'd love for little kids to come up to it and like hand them a little Optimus Prime thing, or, you know, some candy or something. Like, I want it to be a little bit of everything for everyone.
Yeah.
The hardest part about this is just getting used to managing the materials. It's so heavy. I'm not used to it. 18-foot piece of quarter wall 20. I can't manage that. You know?
We can clip a grill into it. It's got coolers that are in between the frame rails for, you know, food and beer and tools, and it'll have 50 gallons of water on it, 150 gallons of fuel. Like, it is purpose built to be a, you know,
So
road driven.
what do you think the time frame on that is when you're running and driving it?
I'm looking to drive it like probably June or July.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. If not, I'll pause and I'll concentrate on getting it out for Lowrider Super Show in SEMA of 26, because we do have some partners on board that have helped with some of the products, and because of those relationships, it has to be there.
Yeah.
So if I get to the point where I'm like, I feel like I'm going to rush it, I'll just pause and I'll skip this season and I'll concentrate on getting it out to Vegas for a year from now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what's the cool nickname for this one? I don't think you said it.
Yeah. So this is Droptimus Prime.
Droptimus Prime.
Yeah. So I'm not really a theme guy. I don't like theme stuff. Like, you know, like we all watched OCC choppers in like the early 2000s, and they were like, oh, this is the football bike, and like, it has gold post handlebars and like all this corny shit all over it. And like, I don't like that. But like, just through talking about this with my buddies and just some of the guys in the car club, I said to one of my buddies, I'm like, what if we made it look like the Optimus Prime? And he's like, well, why wouldn't you? You know, he's like, it totally fits.
Yeah.
So then one of the guys in my car club is an artist, Benji. He's a really good artist. So I hit him up for a rendering, and I was like, hey, can you do a rendering of this thing for me? He's like, absolutely. And I'm like, I want a really, really slammed Optimus Prime. He's like, Droptimus Prime? And I was like, dude, there it is. Like, because I don't think you can force a name.
Yeah.
It's got to come
perfect.
naturally, you know what I mean?
That's perfect.
So with that, I was like, all right, I can get with a bit of the theme because the name's so dope. You know, it just works. So, yeah, that's where it came from.
Okay.
Yes, it's been a ton of fun to build, and the whole idea behind it is like, yeah, it's utilitarian, it's rad, but it's also getting back to the essence of like hot rodding, where like, you know, now the industry is going so far with like, you know, a C10 and an LS, you know, roast a shop chassis, no discredit to any of that, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, right? And you're like, cool. Are you afraid to drive that thing now? You can drive that cross country?
Yeah.
You could. Maybe. Where this budget is 30 grand, all said and done. So we're getting to the roots of hot rodding, where it's like, okay, its bones are a FedEx truck, $2,000. The cab was $2,000. We pulled it out of an airplane hangar. And then I forced myself to make everything else from scratch. Yes, I could buy the thing, but I forced myself to make it because not only was it the experience and the learning lesson, it was also cheaper to do it. So that's the whole theme behind this, is like, build something dope, build something you can't walk past, build it so that like you get partners on board and the price comes down, and build it so it's usable, and build it so it's super cost effective. And like, that's the example, is this thing right here. That'd be almost a 30-foot truck for 30 grand, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, what's been the hottest part so far?
Just managing the materials. So, for example, like building these lowriders, right? I'll cut like a 3-piece of steel, and I can manage it in the trunk because then I weld it. But we built.
Oh, you mean by yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So just managing the weight of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big truck.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I can wrestle a rear end to one of these cars around by myself, or I can wrestle around, you know, box stock and, you know, pumps and whatever. But when you have like an 18-foot piece of 2x8 by quarter, I'm 5'6", 130 pounds. Like, I can't pick that up.
Yeah.
So it's like managing the weight of the materials, and then making the tools to be able to build it so that it's true and level. So you have to do a lot of things where you're making your own frame table, which is what it's on right now. So as you're building it, you're using it as a tool to then level itself out, so then it secures itself. So like a lot of forward thinking to just, how do I manage these materials, you know?
Yeah.
So, and luckily, like with like, you know, the guys in the club, they'll come help, and Franco's got heavy machinery, and he's helped me with this thing a ton, just moving stuff around. And like we said before with the car club, like everyone jumps in and helps. This is a great example of that, so.
Let's roll.
As time began to burn, like a startling sign that fate had finally found me, and your voice was all I heard, that I get what I deserve. So give me reason to prove me wrong, to wash this memory clean. Let the thoughts cross the distance in your eyes. Give me reason to fill this hole, connect the space between. Let it be enough to reach the truth that lies across this new divide.
So I'm gonna circle back to something, something just real quick, because I heard you say it earlier. My wife, she helps me with the car show, but not by choice. That's more by force.
Yeah.
His wife,
My wife couldn't even tell you what kind of car I have. She
Drives
doesn't
an
give a-
automobile.
She doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
so neither of our wives care what we do car show wise.
Yeah.
How does it feel having your wife so involved and like having your back?
That's
and-
dope. Like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. Like, you know, if she wasn't like burn the ships.
I have to say that too.
Yeah. Like,
We all do,
Yeah, I have to say
but you know, when you ask Jess about Syracuse, she couldn't tell you one car in the parking lot. Jen shows up late to our car show.
Yeah.
So, you know, having your wife support up and down the roads, driving next to you, helping you probably late nights, and you know,
Yeah.
listening to you like, you know, stressed out or whatever the case may be. How is that?
It's
How's that for you?
it's crazy to start over in your mid 40s. I'm 46 years old. You know, I started this 3 years ago, and we were established. You know, I made good money, and we started from zero. You know, and that's scary with 3 kids in a house.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been easy. Like, this is a grind. Anyone who thinks like, oh, you work for yourself, you get times. No, you don't.
No.
You don't. You know,
There's no 9 to 5. There's no.
It never stops. You got to
Weekends
keep up
off.
with the story,
Yeah,
you
yep.
know. And it's been extremely expensive, like astronomically expensive, to just get to this point. But she supported it the whole way, and it's rad, you know.
Yeah.
So, and then she's into it. Like, look at this.
Yep.
You know, and she'll drive the thing 700-800 miles, you know, to and from shows. Not as a brag, but like she just likes to drive it.
Yeah.
You know. And,
No, that's cool.
That's dope.
yeah.
So I think she said you presented this at World of Wheels
yeah.
to her. So take us through that. Like, what was the mindset of? Would you just say, I'm just going to do a surprise? I'm going to make this.
Yeah. So I had put so much time. I have the same car, right? So that's an '81 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. It's the only year they had this crazy motor. It changes from 4.6 to 8 cylinders as you drive for like gas
yeah, okay.
economy. I have the exact same year, make, and model. Mine, I cut the roof off and I turned it into a working convertible, like DOT glass, full canvas top, everything's custom. It got an astronomical amount of work into it. So I had put so much time and effort into that, and she was super patient with that, and I was going to debut it at the World of Wheels in 2014. Well, on the side, I bought this, painted it, put wheels on it, and we debuted them at the same time, and this one was a surprise for her. So, and I kind of took a gamble because I'm like, I don't know if she's going to love this thing or not. It's a pretty expensive gamble.
Yeah.
And she did. She loved it. And so now every year she's like, don't buy me anything, just do something in my car. So it's been a progression over, 12, 13 years. So it'd be like this Christmas, like I did the interior, and then I'll do like the head unit, and the stereos, and the hydros, and then upgrade the hydros, and then underglow, and then this, that, wheels, whatever it may be. It kind of gets a little bit of something every year, but not so much where like it's off the road.
Yep.
You know. So, but yeah, as far as support, like all of it. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it without it. There's just no way.
You said you've been doing this how long? Like your house, and the shop, how long in total?
About 3 years.
No, I mean like in total, like overall building cars.
Oh, so I got into cars right when as soon as I got my license, that was it.
Okay.
So that was November.
And it was always lowriders?
Always lowriders.
Okay.
Yeah, so that came from like just looking at like the Snoop Dogg videos and stuff.
I think everybody's the same.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, we're on the East Coast, you know,
we
like
didn't have that, so it was a shock to us.
Yeah, and once I saw like today was a good day with Ice Cube, I was like, dude, that's it, fucking done. And that's why my first car was metal flake green with white because of the Ice Cube car.
Okay.
Like I was like, yeah, that's the one. So I got my license in '95, November '95. I had a Cadillac Coupe de Ville on wire wheels, and then that following spring, April of '96, I put hydros in it from Steve from Motion Hydraulics. I did everything in the trunk. Because like again, like I didn't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Did everything I could. The battery rack was made out of like wood and shit. Like whatever I had at the shop, at school. Drove it to him. He put the front cylinders in it, and then we had a lowrider. So April will be 30 years for me.
30 years.
I've been doing lowriding. Yeah.
So you got 30 years in the game. You've obviously dealt with a lot of cars. What have been some of your personal highs, like car-wise, like cars that you can look back on and be like, damn, I built that, or you know, hey, that car won at a show, like I helped on that car. Yeah,
I mean, definitely this one.
Yep.
This was kind of the crowning jewel in what got me to this point.
Okay.
And I don't want to say it happened on accident, but it really took Mike to just be like, yeah, just do whatever the hell you want, and trusting me. Yeah. And I think that's when I work the best, is when someone's like, just do what you do.
What you do, yeah.
You know, 'cause sometimes when I get some direction, it kind of throws me off a little bit, and I'm not always super happy with the end result. But it's hard to sell it to someone like, trust me, dude.
Yeah.
I go through the same thing when people
keep paying me. Like,
if I'm doing a metal piece and people are like, I need this, it kind of takes away, because now I'm like, you're like limited to what you can do. So it's kind of just, let me do my thing and hope you like it.
Right.
And most of the time people do. You know?
Yeah. And like, I'm totally like, if I get partway through it and I don't like it, I'll throw the whole thing in the trash.
All over.
I'll never justify time or money spent for something that sucks. Like if it sucks, it's going in the trash. There's just no way around it.
Yep.
I'm not going to put it out if I don't like it, you know? So I work better when it's
free reign.
When it's free reign, yeah. So this was kind of the crowning jewel for me as far as like hydraulic setups. I own an S10 Blazer I had built in the late 90s. I actually still have it. And if that car came out today, it would still hold its own 27 years later.
Just Blaze. Oh, baby. Killer. All the girls see the. Look at his kicks. Look at his car.
Nice.
Like it's got a hydraulic setup. It spins. It's all hard lined. It was way ahead of its time. That one was really, really cool. But each one of them has their own little story, you know what I mean? Yeah. Mm-hmm. It just depends on what part of that car, you know, talked to me, or what I learned from it, or where I was in the journey at the time. But, you know, this one really is what did it. Yeah. For sure.
So in the 30 years experience that you've had, what do you think the biggest change has been with the hydraulic scene, you know, the hydraulic, you know, quality or the product? What do you think the biggest thing has changed?
So the hydraulic quality has gotten a lot better and a lot worse in ways. So for example, like back in the 90s, the hydraulic cylinders were notorious for just leaking under like normal use.
That's what I was always told.
Yeah.
Don't get them, hydros leak.
Yeah, they would leak like crazy.
Okay.
But the pumps were stronger because the pumps were adapted from like snow plows and lift gates, and they had cast blocks and like some pressure relief stuff in them. So now the pumps are more of a high production, lower
quality goes down.
Lower quality, but the cylinders and some of the expendables are higher quality. So for example, like the cylinders in this pink car, those have been in this since 2015.
Oh,
and we've driven that car probably 30,000 miles, and it has never leaked.
Jeez.
You know, you couldn't get a season out of a pair of cylinders in 1998. $99.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so that's come a long way. But the pump heads and stuff, they tend not to last as long because they're a little bit cheaper. As far as like the genre, it's more now about the status of the car, the year, make, and model, and what that means to the audience versus you getting it and building it for why you love the car. You know what I mean? Like, I love the 77 T-Bird. I love them. You could probably get one for $4,000. I'd be happier with that car than a 59 Impala convertible, which is worth $400,000. But someone's going to get the 59 Impala convertible because it's the status.
The name,
Right.
yeah.
So it's, for me, it's like, are you doing this because you love it and you love the car, or are you doing it because
You wanna be seen.
you want the baller status of having the thing that gives you the recognition?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So as an example to that, like, you know, the kind of the breakoff point for Impalas is 64. So 58 through 64 are the most popular. They're worth the most amount of money. Then it goes down from 65, 66, 67 up to like 70. Well, this is a 66 Impala. This was built in the 90s. This was actually painted by Walt Prey, the guy who painted the Gypsy Rose. This is a really, really famous car. It's the last car they painted. This was built in the 90s when it wasn't about the status, it was about the beauty of the car. So someone picked the 66 because they loved the lines, and Walt Prey and Mario Gomez painted it to accent the car
Yeah.
and the beauty of the car. And you can see that in the colors and the layout, and like, that to me is lowriding. That's the essence of where it started and what you can still do with it. You know, you can be into that cheaper than you could be a super high, you know, 58, 59, 60
Yep.
Impala, something like that. So, but I think now with, like I was saying before, like with COVID and people having time, and they've brought back some of the old school lowriders, and they've done a really nice job of like doing a really, really good job with them. And I saw a lot of that at the Lowrider Super Show this year. Like, it's got a little bit of a resurgence from what it was to how it used to be.
Now, I was told the Lowrider Super Show is the Las Vegas one is like the Super Bowl of lowrider shows.
Yeah.
Did you, like, when I just came back from SEMA, and while I was there, for me personally, I left there like, I want to go home and wrench. Like, I want to go home and like, Jamie, I'm coming over, we're bringing my LS motor, we're bringing the van and did you leave the Super Show
Yeah.
and was like, dude, I got to go back to the shop and I got to...
Oh yeah. It's like watching the Karate Kid. You want to kick in your door, you know? Like, yeah, I mean, there's no better motivation than that.
Yeah.
You know, because you get hyped up when you see stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Especially like for me, I like different stuff. I like when you see someone who like really took the time and put their heart and soul into something, especially if it's different. Cut their own lane. Like, wow, that's different. It's really hard to be different and make something super cool.
Yep.
It's easier to be different and like make it look ugly. You know?
He does it all the time.
No,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah.
Surprised it took this long. I'm surprised it took this long.
But like,
SEMA too must be nice.
to
Again,
cut a lane and make it cool and something different, like that's hard to do, you know. And there was a lot of that this year.
Okay.
Yeah, it is the Super Bowl of lowriders. Yeah,
It is.
and you leave that place and you're like, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna cut this, I'm gonna paint
Yeah.
that, I'm gonna chrome this, and no, for sure it's motivating. Yeah.
So it gives you like a boost of motivation that you want to just go
Yeah.
start doing all kinds of shit.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do
And
you
that's how.
pick up ideas from there too?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, that's how this stays alive.
Yeah.
You know, is like, you might not know it, but when we bring these things out, you know, someone's like, oh shit, you know, yeah, I'm into tuners, but like, they got the 10-inch Sony molded into the dash, like, and I saw how they do it. Like, I could totally do that in my center
Yeah.
console. You know, whatever it may be. These all were born from something else. You know,
Yeah.
lowriders were born from customs. You know,
Yeah.
mini trucks were born from vans. Like, and then you see some of the paint crossover from funny cars, and like, everyone's going to these shows. They're all talking. And
Do you ever do any of that? Like, you see something at an import show or something, you're like, oh, I'm going to take a little bit of that and put it into this.
Yeah.
Do you have it like that?
Yeah.
Like, do you have any examples of something that you could think of? But
yeah, so we were just at the Lowrider Super Show, and there was a Civic there that was slammed on hydros and wire wheels, but had like a gnarly, I don't know shit about import motors,
Yeah.
but it was turbo, and it had the recipe to be a little bit of everything. It
Okay,
was
yeah.
like super gnarly and dangerous in like every way.
Gnarly danger.
But the way they did the suspension was hydros, but cantilever with
Okay.
shocks, and it was very much like supercar, but with hydros. And I was like, oh shit, like this guy crossing boundaries here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool. So I was like, well, maybe I could do, when I do the shocks on this thing, maybe I'll do some cantilever shocks or something. Like, so yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right. So, Ruined Car Club, you were doing this, were you part of Ruined first and then did this, or did this and kind of
Yeah.
became what Ruined?
Yeah, so it was part of Ruined Car Club first, which we started in 2016. And then this came after. This came
Okay.
around 2022.
And they've obviously been a huge support.
They've been the support.
Okay.
Yeah, like this was, you want to talk about your homies having your back? Like this,
Yeah.
this was them. Like immediately I got to do this, I got to do that. I got to do Franco's, I got to do Manny's, like right off the rip.
Okay.
And everyone just supported it. I was like, holy shit. Like,
And then, so we said earlier, you're gonna end up having the barbecue here,
yep.
right? How
Yep.
pumped are you for that?
I'm stoked. 10 years for the club is exciting. This is a good location. We're right off 93. There's some hotels right there. There's a restaurant right there.
Plenty of space.
Plenty of space in the parking lot. There's trailer parking up top, which we struggled with at the other location. Not a discredit to that location. I think this just might be a better fit for our 10-year. And we got a couple surprises planned, which will be fun. But, for us with that show, and you guys have been, like, we just want it to be a vibe. We want you guys to come and hang out.
Yeah, it was cool, chill.
Eat, drink, have some cookies, whatever, listen to music, get some raffle stuff. Like, it should just be a chill, fun day.
Okay.
And we want to do that next year here, but elevate it a little bit to celebrate our 10th, which it happened fast, man.
Yeah.
10 years right by. I can't believe it.
You said you just kind of got in here, so you're kind of still settling in.
Yep.
What do you have future plans for, like, the shop as in here and going forward?
So I'm designing some custom suspension parts
Okay.
for lowriders, and want to bring that to market like the mini trucker guys do. Like, so for example, in a mini truck, you can be like, I have an S10. You can buy the whole back
Like
half.
Fat Fabs and
Yeah.
all those places. Yeah.
C-notch, 4-link, Watts link, whatever.
Yeah.
We have none of that for lowriders.
Oh, really?
So I have designed some parts where you can do certain modifications that are heavy fabrication modifications, but now they're easy to install and they're bolt in. And then also, you'll see a lot of these lowriders online. They'll hop and they'll spit a spring out, and the wheel will come down and smash into the fender.
Yep.
I've designed some suspension parts that won't do that. And I'm going to bring those to market for the more popular cars, which would be G-Body, Cadillac, Impala. And if those go well, I'll branch off into some other cars as well. But those are the three hitters. So that, and then just wherever the builds kind of take us, I'd love an opportunity to do something really wild. Like if someone has a crazy idea,
Yeah.
like, let's do it.
Yeah.
I got a car coming in here soon. It's like a 4-door caddy, a 92, square body like this,
Yeah.
and it's going to be turned into a folding convertible, rear suicide doors, so like your Lincoln.
Yeah.
But it's a hard top now, it'll be a folding convertible.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, so stuff like that. Anything that makes me think in
So
Pacific.
hard top convertible?
So there's actually going to be two. There's going to be a rag top, a 4-door rag top convertible, and then we're doing a 2-door hard top convertible. So the hard top
Okay.
is going to fold into the trunk.
That's cool.
Quarter panels will come up, but the 4-door is first. So anything like that is what I want to do.
Just crazy.
Anything crazy, yeah.
Fun
I like
stuff, yeah, fun
motorization, thinking outside the box, anything different. So yeah, if you got a crazy idea, let me know. I'm down
Cool.
for it.
Awesome.
We'll figure it out for sure.
Now, besides Droptimus Prime, and you said 2 caddies coming in?
Yep.
2 caddies coming in. What else do you have coming down the pipeline?
So we have, I bagged a Marauder last year. That's coming in for full trunk, full stereo. You guys know Ronnie Hadium, obviously. His Beamer's coming in for a stereo. I'm really excited about it. We're doing a trunk setup in that has never been done. It's going to be so like late 80s, early 90s retro. That one should break the internet. That's going to be a ton of fun. And it's totally his style. Like it's going to be bonkers. We got the caddies.
The truck?
We got this truck over here. Yep. God, I got a list of stuff. We got a ton.
Well, that's a good problem, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, being busy is a privilege, you know. People that complain about being too busy.
Bunch
yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah, we got some stuff for Cashman over here. Yeah, being busy is a privilege. It's a ton of work, but it's better than not being busy, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, yeah,
You know.
definitely.
When you got the call, I know we talked about it off camera. You said you were planning on moving into here. How nervous were you moving in, like getting your own 4,500
Yeah,
square
still
foot
am.
shop? Still nervous?
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. You never realize how fast 30 days goes by until the rent's due. You're like, oh, I paid it, and then you're like, dude, it's first already? Like,
Yeah.
fuck, holy
Yeah.
shit. You know, it rips by. But it's just another adjustment, right?
Yep.
Like,
Figure
it's
it
like
out.
having a kid. You're like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? And then you're
How
like,
big was your previous space?
it's just my house. I was in my basement. I was in
So
the,
like a one-car garage, basically?
yeah. So I had the
two-car?
upstairs garage, two stall garage. I blew the ceiling out of it and put a lift in there, and then my basement. There's 4 cars in there right now, and luckily it's big enough. It's like 2,000 square feet.
Oh, wow.
So I have my wood shop down there. I have a small machine shop, Bridgeport lathe, bunch of tooling.
So going from that to this is pretty different.
Yeah, it's cool because like I don't have to move this to get that. I don't have to play Tetris anymore with the tools.
Not
you know what
everything's
I
on
mean?
top of each other.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a lot more elbow room, and it also gives me the availability to pivot. So like we'll be working on this. Like we were just working on this. Oh, they gave us the wrong part. All right, cool. Well, let's order a new one and we'll just move to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, we're at the
Yeah.
house. I'm like, dude, this thing's stuck on the lift, and I can't even get it down.
Yep.
So now I'm just running
Handcuff,
around trying to
handcuff.
find a part. You know, so not only that, but like just maneuvering stuff around the facility, having a dumpster, being able to just pull cars in here, getting stuff in and out of the house.
Probably working late night if you want.
Yep.
You're not
I mean, I used to work late nights at the house anyways, but it was like I can't be slamming it
with the
9:30
kids
at
and,
night.
and the
Yeah.
wife sleeping and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here they don't care. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But this has been, yeah, it's expensive and it's scary, but it's been super beneficial for sure. So it's just the next step in the journey, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
You take in just, like we were saying, basically any custom work?
yeah.
Is that it is?
Yep.
What would you like to tell people that are looking to get their car modified or car work done, that you would want them to come in?
Pretty much anything automotive customization and on the bigger end of customization, right? So like, and there's no limit to the idea. You know, like I said, we'll turn a car into a convertible or a hardtop convertible or whatever you got. Like we can probably figure it out.
So any crazy idea somebody has,
For
you're
sure.
the person to come
Yeah,
and see.
yeah. And if I can't do the whole thing, we can network and we can find other shops
Get
that
it done.
can help with certain things, which a lot of shops do. You know, you can't do everything,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like
yeah.
you subcontract, whatever. But as far as like what you can expect is you can expect a good quality installation of whatever it is at the end of the day. You know, there's many times where I say, fuck the budget.
Yep.
And I do the extra thing because it's what the car needs, not because of I got to keep the lights on. I do it because that's what the car needs.
Well, your name's on the car.
Right.
So you want
Yeah,
people to recognize
and
that.
like I want you to be able to put your kids in it. I want you to put your family in it. I want you to drive 700-800 miles to a
Yeah.
show and enjoy it, and not have to worry about it.
Breaking
'cause
down or anything
yeah,
like that,
our
yeah.
name's on the line, and by far and large, you see these cars, we drive them.
Yep.
You know.
Oh, I know. I've seen it. Coming back from New York.
Yeah, and just communication and being fair with people and not screwing people. You know, like you get an update every day. I'll send you pictures of where we're at. If you
Yep.
get a challenge, I'm going to let you know where we're at. I'm going to give you the option of, hey, I can do it, or if you've got a buddy that can do it, or if your buddy wants to come in and do it here or something. Like I'll work with you no matter what it is.
Yeah.
But there's no limit to the customization. You know, we do lower end car audio, we do high end car audio. We can tune it. We do upholstery, hydraulics, air ride, wiring. We do a little bit of coach work, like English wheel, plenishing hammer. You name it, we'll do it.
Cool.
Yeah, do everything but put the paint in the gun. Yeah.
Cool.
Now, before we take off, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Through Instagram right now. We're gonna put together a website soon, and we're gonna start advertising in ESC magazine with our phone number.
Okay.
But right now, just through Instagram, which is ruined_rides_fab.
Okay.
Shoot me a DM, and usually from there, I'll take the conversation and I'll put it in the text. It's just a little bit easier to get an alert
Yep.
through
Yeah.
the text
Yeah.
and know that, but it's a good paper trail.
Yep.
But just introduce yourself first. That way, I have enough extended car warranties, so just let me know it's who you are, and then we can just jump on the phone and we'll see what you got going on and what you need and timeline and what makes the most sense for you, and we'll go from there.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Do you find like the internet stuff helps your business?
Yeah.
It does? Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I'm not great at social media.
Yeah.
These guys all are, and luckily they tag me and everything, and then I just get to repost it.
Yep.
It's probably something I should be better at, but honestly, just word of mouth.
Yeah, okay.
And these guys just driving these business cards to shows.
Best advertising.
This thing has been the best piece of advertisement ever, and you see how much he drives this thing, and
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike. So, yeah. But yeah, Instagram. Reach out to me Instagram, DM me, and then we can take the conversation from there.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, I want to say thank you for having us.
Yeah, no,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Appreciate
Thank
the
you.
food.
I watched the previous episodes and I was like, I'm not worthy of the other guys who are on the show. So the fact that you guys considered us,
No, definitely.
not only for the shop but for the car club, we really appreciate it. So
Awesome.
thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank the Ruined Car Club team.
Yep.
And I'm looking forward. We're gonna have to come back once we see Droptimus Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like springtime.
Yeah.
Springtime.
Yeah. Anytime you guys want to come by.
And that barbecue.
Yeah.
Yep.
This door is always open. You come in, check out what we got going on. We got a lot of cool stuff coming in. I got some of my own personal projects that will get rolling through here that you guys will be interested in. And anytime you guys want to come down, door's always open.
Awesome. Appreciate that.
Appreciate it. Cool.
All right.
All right. We're gonna take off. Thank you guys for watching.
Later.